Hello everyone, my name is Ryan or MandRproductions, and today I'll be reviewing an older LEGO Star Wars set. It's the 7144 Slave 1 from the year 2000. Has 165 pieces and one minifigure being Boba Fett. You'll also find inside Han Solo and Carbonite, and we'll take a look at him later on in the video. But the Slave 1 set, this is the original LEGO Star Wars Slave 1 set, and it is pretty rough around the edges. I will say that. It's a quick build. It's a dirty build, if you will, by today's standards, but there are some features on this set that are actually still present in today's Slave 1s, and I'm actually very happy with what this set is and what it was, and it kind of paved the way for what we have today. So it's actually an exciting LEGO Star Wars set to take a look at. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at Boba Fett and Han Solo in Carbonite. The two characters we have included are Boba Fett and a Han Solo in Carbonite brick. Of course, the brick isn't quite a minifigure, but I threw it in here with it. It has Han Solo in there in a very nice print. On top, you'll find a control panel, and then around back, there's nothing. So pretty simple. Boba Fett has himself a little blaster. They did not put a orange stud on the end of this one, which I found odd, but other than that, it's a pretty cool minifigure for the time. It was brand new, had this brand new helmet with jetpack mold, which stayed around for about the next decade, so a very timely piece there. You can see the front torso print is pretty solid as well, though I find this one to actually be a little bit washed out for some reason. The print on the top of his helmet there is a little bit off center there, just a little bit higher on the left side than the right side from our perspective. Underneath, you'll find a regular black head and no print around back, but this is the classic Boba Fett minifigure for many people, so very cool figure. For those that care, this is the instruction manual, and something cool about these older instruction manuals is you would open them up, and on the top of the pages, they would actually have scenes from the movie that the set is about. So in this particular set, obviously you have scenes from Cloud City from episode 5, and you just see them at the top of each page there. It's actually kind of neat what they used to do. That has not been done in LEGO Star Wars sets since like 2002-ish, so it's not quite a thing anymore. It's really a thing of the past, but it was kind of cool as you built the set. You could also get a few scenes from the movie if you really cared that much. It's not really that cool of a thing, but it was just something they did, and it's not something I would die to have back, but it just is something they used to do. But that's the instruction manual. And here is the Slave 1 in all its glory. We're going to pick it up, and you'll see the most notable feature is the wings on the side that move with the rotation of the Slave 1. They actually do really well. They're a little bit more wobbly than you see on today's models. You'll see as it stops, it gives a little bit of back and forth still, but they do move very easily and freely, which is the best part about it. That's something you've seen on all the modern Slave 1s as well, so it's really cool that they were actually able to get it on the first model of a set. Such a cool feature, and one that I would guess was rather hard to implement back in the day, hard to figure out how they were going to do it and still look good. So I bet that was probably the hardest part of designing this set for the designers, but the wings themselves are pretty barren. There's not too much detail on there other than some brown grill pieces, so that's unfortunate, but it's still cool that they work, and when you land, they're down. When you fly the ship away, they are up, so very neat there. You'll see around back they have some engine detail. I was told that this actually looks like a shoe when you're building it, and it totally does. Nick on Planet Ripple mentioned that to me while I'm building. He's like, oh my god, it looks like a shoe. So that's kind of funny if you just kind of see the shape there of the bottom outline. Basically, it looks like a shoe. The engines are not detailed at all. Like the thrust basically is just 5 of those trans orange pieces. Nothing exciting at all. The coloring of the ship is a little bit weird too. You can see it's mixed in with black and gray and brown and green, and you're really supposed to not have any of that black, I feel like. I think the black is the most off color there. I'm not a fan of the old gray colors either, so that really doesn't help with this set. Like the old dark gray is not that pretty looking. You have the turrets on the front here, and they don't do too much. They even look pretty rough in my opinion. I don't really love the way they look, and I actually especially hate the way they used the blue clips there. I wonder if they just didn't have another color at the time to use, but I do not like the way the blue looks there. But the turrets can spin or move up and down if you move them manually. They don't move with the motion of the ship like the wings and the turrets on modern day Slave 1s, which is unfortunate. And honestly, they look really rough. I'm not a fan of the way those look. They just kind of stand out on this ship, honestly. It's a little bit weird because this ship itself is a big standout in any collection because it looks so odd and different without all the curvy pieces of modern days. But these particular pieces stand out more on this ship, I think, than anything else that kind of fits with the theming. But you'll also find you have a little compartment in here that is hidden away. You'll pull down this little green plate there, and out will come Han Solo and Carbonite. So there's your Han Solo and Carbonite. Very fancy looking print on a brick there. This is actually the first time we had seen him in LEGO Star Wars. There's even a little control panel on top. There's no real way for Boba Fett to like pick him up and carry him around, but you can have him do something like this if you really want to. You can put him in the hand and you can move him along, but not like they show on the back of the box, or on the front of the box rather, where he is moving him like that. It definitely doesn't float. It should say that the Han Solo and Carbonite does not levitate. That should be on the box. I was tricked into buying this product. You know what? I'm gonna sue. No, I'm just kidding. But it's just kind of interesting how they show it levitating on the thing with Boba Fett pushing it. The windshield here is an odd piece. It's not what they've used in modern Slave 1s ever since. This is definitely one of the more odd windshields I've ever seen on a LEGO Star Wars set. It's 2 pieces. This one piece here has studs all over it, which is odd in and of itself, but they also move independently of each other, so you can just open this one, which is odd, but it actually works rather well because you only need the one open to sit Boba Fett in there. But it's a lot easier, obviously, to open both. You're going to want him in a seated position, so you're going to sit him down like that, and he's going to actually put his feet onto the 1x2 black plate there. And there's also some control panels in there if you didn't notice. About 4 of them in there. And it's going to close up. It is not a very big area for him. He obviously can't reach any of the control panels either. They look awkward in there, to be honest. But that's how they decided to design this one. There wasn't a lot of space to work with there, so I understand. But it's an odd design, and it works, but it looks weird if you really think about it. So I try not to think about it. I take it for what it is, and, you know, it is what it is there. I just don't think about the fact that he can't reach the control panels, and it's okay. You can get a view from the front or top end there of the Slave 1, I would say. Overall, like, they did a good job getting the shaping on it decently correct. Like, the shaping, like, it looks like a Slave 1, I'll give it that. But it doesn't have the sexy curves that the newer Slave 1 models have that make them look so good. Like, every Slave 1 after this looks so incredibly good because they had new pieces for it. So back in 2000, they hadn't quite developed the pieces yet that would have made this set look incredible like they do today with the Slave 1s. So it's not that this is a bad set, it was just a little bit ahead of its time. It just came out a couple years too early, really, and then the next version was incredible. So that's all I have to say about this Slave 1, guys. I will have a comparison on all the LEGO Star Wars Slave 1s at some point in the near future. Definitely check that out. You're going to want to subscribe so you do not miss that video. I'll have every LEGO Star Wars Slave 1 ever from 2000, 2002 with Jango Fett Slave 1, 2006 with the redesigned Boba Fett Slave 1, 2010, and more recently, the 2018 Cloud City included Slave 1s. So my final thoughts on this set are, it was good for its time, it's not so good today, and the wings are a little bit flappy, but I'm really glad they work really well with the rotation of the ship regardless. I would not really recommend this one. This is one that you probably don't need in your collection unless you have some type of nostalgic connection to it. I wouldn't recommend, if you're like a newer collector, immediately going out and buying this one. Get what's out now. Get the new Cloud City Slave 1 off eBay if you don't want to buy the whole set. But if you're looking for something that looks good to display on the shelf, this is not it. If you're looking for something nostalgic, something original, something unique, then this is probably it. But that's my recommendation on this set. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.